Ever get that feeling like reality is just messing with us? Like
Sure.
some cosmic joke writer is testing out material and we're all just along for the ride.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes the headlines are so out there, you can't help but wonder what's next.
Right. Exactly. Like,
Hi.
did we accidentally tap into some alternate universe newsfeed? Well, if that's the case, buckle up because
Yeah.
today's deep dive is dedicated to all things strange, surprising, and downright unbelievable.
And you know what they say? Truth is often stranger than fiction.
Couldn't agree more. But here's the thing. As much as we love a good head scratcher, we're not just here to revel in the absurdity. We're diving deeper.
Yeah, we want to know what these bizarre stories say about us, about the world we live in, because sometimes the most unexpected events can reveal some pretty profound truths. This particular episode, which aired on February 19th, is structured like a traditional news program.
Hmm.
Breaking news segments, in-depth reports, the whole shebang, which adds a really interesting layer to how these stories are presented.
February 19th, just a few days after Valentine's Day. Maybe Cupid's arrows are tipped with something a little stronger this year. Speaking of things that are a little stronger, let's kick things off with a story that's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. This one takes us to Nashville, Tennessee, where a man evading arrest decided to use a rather unconventional weapon against the police, his cat.
Okay, now before you picture some kind of trained attack cat, it wasn't exactly a coordinated assault. According to reports, 41-year-old Christopher Gaddes held the cat and basically shoved it into the officer's face.
Okay, first of all, ow. Second of all, I've tried to give my cat a bath. That's a bold move.
Yeah, this is definitely not your average rub my belly kind of kitty. The officer sustained cuts on his hand, and ironically, Mr. Gaddes ended up with some bites from his own feline accomplice. Talk about adding insult to injury.
I guess there's a lesson in there somewhere about choosing your allies carefully. But on a more serious note, this situation, as strange as it might seem, really speaks to the lengths people will go to when they feel trapped or desperate.
It's that fight or flight instinct kicking in. But in this case, it was more like fight with feline.
And it also highlights the unpredictable nature of police work. You never know what you're going to encounter on any given day.
Speaking of unpredictable, let's move on to a basketball game that sounds like it belongs in the Guinness World Records. For the lowest score ever, we're talking 4-2.
Wait, 4-2. Seriously, was this like a typo? Did someone forget to add a zero?
Nope, this was the real deal. A high school basketball game in Oklahoma that ended with that unbelievable score.
Okay, before you explain this, I gotta ask. Were they playing with a deflated beach ball? Was there a swarm of locusts on the court? How does this even happen?
Believe it or not, it all came down to strategy. After the first team scored, the other team decided to hold on to the ball. And I'm not talking about a few possessions. We're talking almost 7 minutes straight.
7 minutes. They were basically giving a master class in playing keep away. I mean, did anyone even try to, actually shoot the ball?
Nope. They were masters of the strategic stall, just passing it back and forth, running out the clock. And it worked. The game ended with that unbelievably low score, 4-2.
So they basically gamed the system. I can respect that, kind of. But also, what about the fans? Talk about a snooze fest.
You're telling me? This game actually sparked a huge debate about the rules of high school basketball. Some people called for a shot clock to be implemented, just like they have in the NBA.
That makes sense. I mean, I get it, strategy is part of the game, but at the end of the day, it's supposed to be entertaining, right? Where's the thrill of the chase? The buzzer beater? The roar of the crowd?
Right, it raises all sorts of questions about sportsmanship. The purpose of competition. Is it about outscoring your opponent? Or is there something to be said for outsmarting them, even if it makes for a less exciting game?
Deep thoughts from the basketball court. Who knew? All right, shifting gears now to a story that's a little less about athletic strategy and a lot more about, well, societal solutions. This one takes us to Japan, a country that's facing some unique challenges due to its aging population.
Yeah, this segment of the podcast we're analyzing tackles a very sensitive topic, and I think it's important to approach it with nuance and understanding. It centers around a proposal by a Yale economist regarding Japan's demographic situation. And let's just say it sparked some serious controversy.
Controversy might be an understatement. This economist suggested that elderly Japanese citizens should consider, well, let's just say he used the phrase mass suicide as a potential solution to the economic strain of an aging population.
It's a shocking statement. And it's important to emphasize that this is just one economist's perspective, an incredibly extreme one. However, the fact that his words resonated with some segments of the population, particularly younger generations, it reveals a deeper layer to this story.
It's like a twisted reflection of the anxieties a lot of young people in Japan are feeling, right? A shrinking job market, a growing national debt, the pressure to support an aging population.
Exactly. And while this economist's solution is obviously not the answer, it does highlight these very real concerns. And the frustrations that stem from these demographic shifts, it's something that a lot of countries with aging populations are grappling with.
It's a stark reminder that even the most shocking proposals can expose these deeply rooted anxieties within a society.
Okay, taking a deep breath after that one. Let's move on to a story that's a little lighter, but still pretty eye-opening: crypto rehab.
Ah, yes. This one really speaks to the unexpected ways that technology is shaping our world. And, this very modern problem of addiction in the digital age.
So we're talking about people going to rehab for their Bitcoin obsession. Like they can't stop checking their Coinbase app.
That's part of it.
Right.
But it goes deeper than just compulsively checking prices. The article we're looking at here, it highlights how the volatility of cryptocurrency, the constant fluctuations in the market, it creates this very real,
Yeah.
very powerful addictive cycle. And get this, the price tag for treatment, $75,000. Whoa, 75 grand. For that price, they better be serving up financial advice with a side of gold-plated avocado toast. But seriously, that's a testament to how serious this addiction can become.
Absolutely. The article draws some interesting parallels between crypto addiction and more traditional forms of addiction. The obsessive monitoring, the withdrawal symptoms, the impact on relationships, mental health. It's a pattern that repeats.
It makes you wonder, at what point does a passion for something, even something like cryptocurrency, cross the line into a full-blown addiction? Where do you draw that line?
It's a question worth pondering, especially as our lives become more and more intertwined with the digital world. But for now, let's take a quick detour into the lighter side of the bazaar, with some rapid-fire stories that are sure to make you smile.
Hit me with them. I'm ready for a palate cleanser after that last one.
Okay, get ready for a jewel thief of the rodent variety security cameras in an Indian jewelry store. They caught a rat making off with a diamond necklace. And there's video evidence. This little guy dragging a sparkly chain twice its size across the floor.
Okay, that's adorable. I'm picturing a tiny fedora and a little black mask, Ocean's 11 Rat Pack style.
Right. This little guy could give Danny Ocean a run for his money.
What else you got? Give me another one.
All right, how about this? A tiger in the courtroom. You heard me right. This happened in India. A tiger wandered in from a nearby forest and injured 6 people.
Talk about a hostile witness. I bet that judge has seen it all now.
Right. And last but not least, we have a story that proves sometimes medical dramas are more facepalm than Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Doctors in Brazil left a pair of surgical scissors inside a politician after he underwent surgery.
Wait, hold on. They forgot the scissors. How do you just forget?
I know, right? And it gets better. He had those scissors inside him for 6 days before they realized the mistake.
6 days. Okay, someone's getting sued. And probably losing their medical license.
You would think,
Yeah.
right? It's a good reminder to always be your own health advocate, I guess.
So we've gone from a cat fight with the police to a rat's sparkling taste in jewelry. We've had strategic stalling in basketball and an economist's, let's just say, interesting proposal for Japan's aging population. It's been a wild ride.
It really makes you wonder if there's a method to all this madness. Do you see any connecting threads running through these seemingly random events?
You know what? I think it all comes down to human nature. At our core, we're a species that constantly pushes boundaries, tests limits, searches for meaning even in the most unexpected places.
That's a really interesting point. Whether it's the man using his cat as a weapon or that basketball team exploiting a loophole in the rules, there's this element of pushing the envelope of what's considered, I don't know, acceptable or even normal.
Yeah, it's like we have this innate desire to challenge the status quo, see what we can get away with. Sometimes it's for personal gain, like the jewel thief rat. And sometimes it's a reflection of deeper societal anxieties, like with the economist's proposal.
Absolutely. And then you have stories like the crypto rehab and the tiger in the courtroom, which just highlight the unpredictable nature of life. No matter how much we try to control our environments, there will always be those curveballs, those moments that remind us just how strange and wonderful and sometimes terrifying the world can be.
And that's the beauty of it all, right? We can analyze, we can dissect, we can try to make sense of it all, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to embrace the absurdity.
I couldn't agree more. Finding the humor in the unexpected, the bizarre, the downright strange. It's a way of acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, and that's okay.
Exactly. So to our listeners, we leave you with this. What other layers of meaning did you find in these stories? What resonated with you and why? And how can you embrace the absurdity in your own life?
Because sometimes the most profound insights, they come from those moments when we just shake our heads, maybe chuckle a little, and say, you can't make this stuff up.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the bizarre and surprisingly insightful world of current events. Until next time, stay curious and remember sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction.